it's Jane. How are you? Good morning. I am here 2 days late for a live stream, but this is only my own schedule. So I have excuses. But I don't need them because here I am, and hopefully here some of you are, and we could just have some fun here on YouTube, or if you're watching the replay later, you might be watching this on Facebook. I think this is all working. Everything is good. Say hello. And what I want to create is a response to a community initiative from around these parts. I'm in the Byron Shire, and there's a cute little town called Brunswick Heads. It's where I go and do my life drawing, and it's like a little tiny little coastal village. Very, very, very cute. And as with this everywhere, but this region, there's a lot of development that's going on, and Wallam is a particularly pristine little area. It was a refuge for wildlife in our last round of wildfires. It's koalas, all sorts of special frogs, native orchids, all beautiful things. And it's all been slated for development. It's like a zombie development from what I understand, which is just tells you everything you need to know. But it's a development that was passed a long time ago, and before we have environmental, we knew what it was approved a long time ago is all I need to say, and not being an expert on these things, but one of the other people that draws in my group is she has a small gallery, and she's organised a charity event where lots of different artists create small works, and then they're sold, and that will help pay for the legal fees that have been clocked up in order to save this beautiful part of the world. So anyway, I'm contributing to that, and in order to make myself do it, because I've had this little canvas sitting here for ages, and it's due in, I thought I would create it. I'll create it with you. I don't know if what I'm going to create will be worthy. Who knows? I don't know. It's art. This is live streaming. We open up the parachute, fling ourselves out of the plane, hoping that the art parachute stays intact, and at some point we land on the ground without shattering our ankles, which would be good. So I've got my canvas here, and I've got you here and me here, and that's all I need. Well, and a few art supplies, so we'll do that. And if you want to ask me arty things as we are going, that is good. I do ask today because I will tell you, my father passed away a year ago yesterday, and it's a weird feeling, to be completely honest. And if we could keep it not upbeat and all of that, because we always usually are, but just fairly on track, because I'm good. But you know, like I've got the guardrails. I can't get over. I have guardrails just to keep me on track. Am I making sense? And I just need to try and just stay there. And then, as a much more secondary thing, we're going through this whole tariff situation with the rest of the world, and we can't send anything to most of our customers, and it's very frustrating. But I've got this amazing, I should tell you that, amazing sale, special offer for my online workshops. So if you use the code thank you, one word, no caps, that sounds so funny, no cap, on the website, you can get 25% off any of my workshops. It's workshop week. So maybe I'll talk about that, because I just want to talk about fun, joyful things. Oh, And I might do another live stream tomorrow, and I'll bring out, I've usually got a journal dedicated to each of my workshops. There's a lot of workshops though, so I couldn't get through them all in one thing. So maybe I'll do some other live streams just to show you some of the gorgeous things that we do in the workshops. But you can see it all on my website. Anyway, but that is there for you. If you're watching this way off in the future, it won't be there for you. But it's just to get us through this time of shenanigans, as the world acclimatizes to postal situations, all completely out of my control. But you know, we just trundle along as best we can and think about the creatures. And so I don't know what I'm going to create today. I'm not feeling very like painting a koala, and I find the whole plight of the koalas a bit sad actually, so I'm just trying to avoid. I just want to do things that feel joyful and inspiring, and might draw my dogs. No. They're definitely not allowed to go into Wallen because they were bark at the butterflies given the opportunity, as well as the flowers and everything else. So they're not, and disturb everybody, so they're not allowed to go into there. Anyway, now I'm just having a quick little look at comments. Oh, Matty Kitty, how you going? Oh, Matty Kitty's doing the Botticelli-esque workshop. We are having so much fun in the workshop. The lessons are just chef's kiss, if I do say so myself, just because I see how they're helping people, and I love this stuff. I love discovering art things for myself, deciphering it, decoding it, and then sharing it with my students. So much fun. I've been doing this for a long time, and I know I'm good at it because I see the results. So I'm happy to claim that. And I'm not claiming my artwork is good. I'm claiming how I teach can be very helpful. That's all I'm saying. And oh, Carissa, I don't think we have wombats up here. They're more of a southern. Carissa, the dreamer, says, "What about a wombat?" I love wombats. Wombats aren't really a thing in my area. They not that I've ever seen or heard of anyway. I think they're more to the south and inland. I don't think they're more a coastal thing, but maybe they used to be and they're not anymore. I don't really know. But they're very gorgeous. I know that. I love wombats. Some of them do little square poos. Did you know that? And when they poop, because their nose is basically under the ground, they're like a tank, a little hairy tank that just trundles along. It's a marsupial, and that's their nose is at ground level, and they leave little towers of their little pooper-doopers, and they're square, so they stack. So they're like leaving little messages to each other. That's what I was told. It might be something I was told as a child, and my dad used to tell me things that I thought were real, and it's not until I'm an adult and, you know, into the years, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that something my dad told me? Did I? He would tell a few little, he must have thought it was hilarious what we would believe. But, you know, in our family, in our home, you know, Dad was the king, and what he said went. I just didn't even question it. Just didn't even question it until later. But, you know, anyway. So maybe they don't do square poo. We need to fact check that. Someone else could do that, because I don't want them to have algorithms listening to me and start sending me all of the different poos of the world. No. So if someone else could Google that, thank you. Hey Jane, how you going? And Cindy. Hey Zandra, how are you? How are you? Oh, and the other thing, I put it in my newsletter. I haven't got it actually anywhere else, the information, but if you get our newsletter, you can see it. I will put a link to it on my blog at some point. I just have to remember to do it. But I've got some dates listed for the next live workshops, and I'm timing them in with some of the life drawing that I do. So, and I don't run the life drawing, I just go to the life drawing. I just go there, have a good time drawing. And it's challenging, gets me out of my comfort zone every time. And I love it. It's really cool. And it's good for my everything, but especially good for my art, for skills, right? But the next live workshop is October 11 and 12, and I've done it for those days because Kinky Drawers is on, which is an evening event. That's on the Friday, and then it's all weekend with drawing. And it's all about whimsical hair because it's going to be Halloween in October, and heads up. And we've got, so you can go to Kinky Drawers and then with me and all the other people, and then the workshop. And well, that's what I've planned because it's just so much fun. You don't have to go to Kinky Drawers, but that's the next workshop. Then November 1 and 2 is another workshop. I can't remember what it is. Something, November. I think I'm releasing a new something special. I wrote about it in the newsletter and I can't remember. And then the next one is November 10 and 11. It's a Monday and a Tuesday. I've never really done one in the week before, but it's so you can go Monday and Tuesday, the workshop with me. And then Tuesday night, if you want to, you can come along to life drawing. And then Wednesday morning, you can come along and do life drawing again, because I like to go to both. And you have different models. It's just a totally different vibe. So it's just a drawing extravaganza, not just with me, but you would have had that preparation. So it's flesh and figures. So you'll have had all that preparation and then you can put it into effect. And it's a really amazing way of bringing on your own style. You can see all of the other artists doing their work as well. It's so cool, so flippin' cool. Anyway, so there you go. And then the last one for the year will be November 29 and 30. But if you want to register or waitlist, you can do hello@janedavenport.com. Let me know of those if you're interested in any of those, and we can waitlist you for those because they're small, of course. And otherwise, you can just wait for more information. Just a little heads up, just a little heads up. And look, in the vein of talking about things that I'm really happy and excited about, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Kim is Kim, she comes from a long way away just to come and do them with me. We have such gorgeous models. When I saw one of my friends yesterday, she had come along to live drawing a couple of weeks ago, and I think I fell in love with the model. It's always different models, and you always fall in love with the model because it's just such an amazing privilege to be able to draw someone. And it's 1000% not pervy, lewd, creep, anything like that. Never. I've never actually been to any life drawing session ever where there's ever been one iota of a vibe like that. It's just not. I know that if you've never been to it, like my mum is just like, no, I could never. But it's just 1000% gratitude for the beautiful person, whoever it is, whatever kind of body they have. We have all sorts of bodies, doing these beautiful poses. It just makes you so glad to be a human being and makes you so happy that you draw. And when Kathy, who runs it, she came and whispered in my ear the other week, isn't this just the best? And she said, I feel bad for people who aren't here. I was like, I know, I feel bad for people who don't draw. I do. Because we get locked into this fear of not drawing well, and we let that stop us from drawing. It's like not ever reading because you don't draw the fastest, or not ever singing because you're not Mariah Carey, or not ever dancing because you're not a ballerina. You can still have a wiggle, you're dancing. You can still have a little sing-song in the shower, you're singing. And same thing with drawing, painting, art. I'm just talking art. Imagine if you weren't allowed to cook unless you were the world's top Michelin star chef. No, you don't have to be the best at something to enjoy it. But for some reason, with drawing and painting, I think it's because one of the first things we do as little humans, we think we have to be the master of masters to allow ourselves to do it. And you don't. It's just, it's a joyful thing. Anyway, can we please do some drawing, Jane? I'll just have a quick look through comments just one more time. Make sure I'm not missing any major questions. And dun, 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 dun. Jane said, I'm coming. Good one, Jane. It's just so good. You would love it. You would love Kinky Drawers as well. Kinky Drawers is a little bit, it's a little bit sort of on the edge of risque, because it's lots of people dress up. This next one has a spring theme. I think there are fairies involved. I'm just so dying. It's a little bit cabaret, a little bit burlesque, but it's fun. It's just fun. Yes, there will be people without their clothes on and everyone is drawing, but it's not, it's cool. It's cool, and it's not pervy, or I don't know, any of those things that you might think it's nothing like that. It's just very freeing, actually, because I could never be a live model, and I'm the drawer. I love drawing. It's made me love drawing even more, but that's always been the case with live drawing. And it was the first date that Angus took me on. He took me on we went to the art gallery of New South Wales, which is a fabulous art gallery, and there were people drawing there as we walked past a room, and I saw the people drawing, and there was someone, a model there, and sort of on a platform, everyone had their easels, and I just instantly knew, like, what is that? What is that? So Angus always credits himself with and I was drawing, but I wasn't drawing like that. I thought, whoa, what is this magic that I did not know about? Okay. Okay, so anyway, that's the story of that. I'll have to have a look at comments later, because there's more there than I can look at. Hello to everybody. And let's get going. Right. I'll just swing my camera around. Here we go. Oh, we've got it. I've got my Birth of Venus waiting. That's what's underneath, if you don't know what that is. It's just a desk mat that I got. And will it get paint on it? Yes. Will I be a bit sad when that happens? Probably. I've got these. I pulled my stencils out because I just am loving my new stencils so much. And I thought, what about if I create someone who's walking through the environment, through Wallam, basically. And I thought we could have a little bit of a goddess pose starting to happen. That could be kind of fun. But when I look at my painting here, I can see a little face already in here. And you know, it's just very difficult for me to not draw a face. I'm very facially oriented. Facially oriented is a new word? I don't know. So I can see here, you might not be able to see it though, but I can see it. I can see a little bit of an ear here. I like to chisel out and see who's hiding in this. And then everything always just works out. I love this story of Michelangelo chipping away at marble to release what he could see inside, or to see what was in there. And that's how I feel like I'm working with paper. I read something very similar. Matisse said he's cutting away what doesn't belong there when he was older and working with collage. And it's that similar feeling I have. I sort of feel like these things are existing here, and I'm just somehow making them come around somehow. This is actually what I'm creating here it's very much what we've just been doing in the last lessons in Botticelli-esque. And a tilted 3/4 face. So maybe I'm in that mode, but this is also one of my favourite things to draw. I'm using a watercolour pencil because when I add water to this or paint or whatever, this will just melt away. I'll have guidelines for the start. Can you even see? You can sort of see what I'm creating there a little bit, I think, because I just want to grow late, and I just need to forget about this, being for something, and just be in the moment, just share my time with you guys, be in the moment, and but having just said that, and I've got this Joyful Gesso as a base, which is the ultra matte acrylic paint. And what that allows me to do is use watercolor, whatever I like on it, including this. And because it's got tooth, you can hear it. Or can you? ASMR. I can use whatever I like. It's got enough tooth that I can grab pencil very easily. Not all gessos are created equally. Now I'm wanting to get this head tilt back. So I'm going to just throw that ear back further. I'm going to just treat this like the warm-up at Live Sketch, just a quick, like a warm-up sketch. I really want to tilt this back even further though. Can I? Yes, I can. Of course I can. I can do whatever I want. Okay. Sorry, I'm not talking to you. I'm sorry, I'm being a bit rude, but I just went into creative flow then. I just went into creative flow and I was just enjoying myself. Oh, you know what would be good? Just excuse me for a second. I'm just going to grab something from my art bag. This is something I take to live drawing. The dogs think something's happening, but nothing is happening. And just grabbing, oh, I need to grab these out too. Yeah, I can't show you my little, oh, if I rearrange things. I've got my little art bag. Oh, one of my little pins fell off, this little plastic thing that I got. And here I've got stacked all of my glimmering watercolors, and I've got other things that are yet to happen in here. And I've got my layer cakes, which I've been taking to life drawing lately. But what I went to get was my aqua pastels. So So I'll just pop these away so I'm not tempted to, oh, I might need the glimmers anyway. Because using glimmery watercolor and using glimmery things is so uplifting for the spirit. Like there's something really nice about it. So these are my aqua pastels. They're a watercolor crayon. They're basically a watercolor in a stick. You can see how used mine are, trashed, especially the colors that I like to use. The purples, especially for this stuff, anything water soluble to kick off a drawing is wonderful. Now this is canvas, and the one thing I do not like about canvas is this bouncing effect. I like a drum, especially on larger canvases. I don't like it. I really don't. This is why I prefer to create on paper, because I can put it on a hard surface. I can do that with a canvas too. You can start off with it on a card, but you know, buying it already stretched is wonderful because you can just pop it on the wall, done. It's light. It's just creating on it. It's not my favourite thing. Is anyone else like that, or is that just me? The movement in it. Maybe I can turn that around in my mind and not be negative with that, and just try and enjoy the bounce. Of course she's going to have side eye. Maybe I'll start this, and maybe it will take me beyond the hand-in date a little bit though. That's all. I should really take it to life drawing next. And because flora and fauna, which is how, especially in Australia, we refer to our animals and our plants, the flora and fauna. Flora and fauna are both Greek goddesses. It's where the words come from. So maybe this is flora. Echidna is also which is one of our creatures. That's a Greek, I think more like a monster, a titan. Echidna, because it was like a combination of all sorts of things, which when people first saw the animal echidnas, they were like, what the, it lays eggs, it's prickly, its feet are on backwards, it's a mess. It's a mess. Now sometimes when I'm drawing on an angle like this, it's a very good idea, well for me to do this for myself, to tilt the page, because otherwise starting with the banana face effect is going to come and attack me. Now I might get my Botticelli-esque out. I might get this out. And just in touching this and moving it, it reminded me of this colour here, and I just want to get started. So I'm going to lay in these colours. And just let's see where we go. And then I can colour into this with some of my aqua pastels. I like the effect that I get when I do this. I'm just going to add a bit more water in there, let them run together. Let's do it in here as well. Might get a bit more of this. Might get a little bit of this. can do the same thing with pencil, dragging through, but I can also just dip my pencil or just moisten the tip there. And it gets more of like a little crayon look. And just sort of adds a little bit of texture that then disintegrates into the water because it's wet there. And if I want to move anything on, I can just do that with my brush, like so. Oh, Magic Kitty says she loves doing my online workshops. Yay! Yeah, so the discount code again was just thank you, janedavenport.com. You can use that. It expires in a week's time. Dates, because they involve numbers, are not my forte. But it is written down somewhere. I'm just trying to set this up. Because what I'm thinking what might happen is I might turn, this might all be different grevillea and the native beautiful plants that we have. So I'm going to add, I'm looking out the window at some right now. And they've got these little loop-de-loops. Loop-de-loop-de-loop. And just add a little bit of detail in here of those. Can come off the thing there. Just add a few little of those little loops in here. So I've got a range of colour happening in there. And I feel like I need a little tiny contrast of colour. I like this little bit of lavender, but I might even go in. Didn't intend to use lay cake specifically, but if I want to make that really pretty and juicy for my eyes, if I add a little bit of this blue in here, I think that would look really, it would give it depth and it would look pretty. And goddesses are very good at looking pretty. Sort of when you're immortal, I suppose you've got time to spend on that. Okay, now this still might be a bit wet, so I might just change to this. So that colour that I was using was Bella Luna. Oh, it sounds nice. And this one's Violet Fizz, but I might also have Urchin at the ready, and I might have a little soft brown. Blonde Ale. She needs a chin. We've got no chinny chin. Hey, and guess what? She's a goddess. So we don't have, oh, come on, Jane. You know how goddesses go. I've got the straight nose. Don't have to, but I might do that. Now, did I have some? I've got some of my inks here. I've got Shiver Me Timbers. Oh, that might be a little secret one. Does it matter if I use a secret one? Anyway. Well, I don't even know if the secrets are going to happen, so it just depends what happens with all this tariff stuff. Oh, that doesn't like getting wet. Okay. Will you? I might use those. It's got tattoo inks in it. A little bit later. They don't like working on top of the wet. The water goes up into the actual nib and it dilutes the ink too much. I can't see it, so I'll leave it. I thought that might be the case, and it was. But you know, hope springs eternal. Okay. And I can just use watercolour to set everything up. And if I want to come over with acrylic, for instance, I can completely do that. And I can just leave this being wild and free or come just over the whole lot. But this is all too thin. Sorry about Zorro. There's naught I can do about it as I'm going. Other than tell him to be quiet, and he doesn't listen, so. He takes my shush as a justification for popping off. Just drying that off. And the reason I'm holding it up like this is because I've got this light for videoing right over the top. Which you wouldn't have if you were normally just working on your own, because it makes things hard to see. So seeing as I am doing that, I'm getting some dribble. Oh, that's what I might just let things. I'm going to add lots of ink in here later and let that run. But I wonder if oh, that's better. Okay, that was too overly. Isn't it funny, you're creating and then you just sort of turn a little corner and where something you thought was, oh goodness, this is not working out. And then you turn a little corner and you're like, oh no, here we go. It's all good. It's all good. I know what I'm doing. I like that feeling. Now, what I will do before I go any further, see if I can lift a little bit more of this pink off that I put down, and this, don't really want it there. And again, just dry that off. Oh, yes, she's a little bit of an axolotl. Now that sounds, I bet that's an ancient word. I wonder if axolotl was some sort of god, and then they saw an axolotl and they were like, whoa. What is that? Yeah, the first person to see an axolotl must have had a bit of a surprise. Okay, she's a bit more chiseled now. I think I'll lift this eyebrow up too, which means I need to lift that one. And that one can come in here a bit more, bring that over. So if we're bringing all this over, her nose is going to change. This is not a bad way of creating. And this would just be a little cheap canvas. And tart it up a little bit with proper gesso, not just whatever has come on it, which would just be the cheapest molten plastic there is. Oh, I must have dabbed my paper towel on the my puddle of colour there. I actually quite like it. That's not distressing me too much. So I'm just using this to lift off lines as we go. And I'm going to add in just a few colour notes because I feel like it. It's the only reason. And I just saw that green in the corner of my eye and it just made me feel like using it. What other reason do we need? Oh, I like that colour. Oh, that's nice. That's a bit of the green on the brush and then I dipped into this purple. So the green is called Primavera, which is a famous Botticelli painting, and Adorazione. But it's Italian, so I don't know how to pronounce that. Adoration? But it's an adoration of the Magi, or Magi. I don't even know how to say that, Magi noodles. But it's a painting of, I think it's the wise men, or people adoring the wise men adoring Jesus as a little, well, it's a painting by Botticelli, okay? Veneer is, again, from another painting named Pomegranate, the Madonna of Pomegranates. Pomegranate is a symbol of fertility and it features in quite a few pictures of Mary and baby Jesus. Mystica, again, in that, because Botticelli was creating in a very, very religious time. His most famous paintings are of ancient Greek stories, but most of what he painted was to do with, the religious beliefs. But Medici features in them, because without the Medici, we wouldn't have the Botticelli-ness of it all, probably. In my opinion, allegedly. What would I know? But without their support of the arts at that time and commissioning such pictures, we wouldn't have the beautiness. I'm going to go in with this. This is the Love Letter palette. And this colour, the hair, I might go, I've got gold. I might go Botticelli. You know what? Why not? Botticelli-esque at least. Gold highlights, actual gold from Pot of Gold, and more of a strawberry blondie colour, but I'm going to go and start with this might leave the skin tone as almost this colour, and then I'll deepen this in the background. So yes, anyway, this is where I'm thinking. Might do this with acrylic, but I'll start off with watercolour and whatnot. I've got my Euphoria and Utopia watercolour palettes amalgamated in this other case that I found. I was thinking I would introduce these into the shop. They're too hard to open, so they're just stupid. So the pencil tin is better. But can you fit all of them in the pencil tin? Was that the issue, Kim? So I'm just going to use all of these yellows, oranges, peaches. Ooh, look at that colour. To create a base layer for this hair. Melt what's back there. We might, I could add a little Fibonacci twirl, you know. It's just to start thinking about my colours. And then I'll be donating my little, whatever I create for the exhibition, and then they'll be selling the works off. And I think they're covering up, I think you don't know who you're bidding on. I think the names are on the back, so it's like a little surprise. So you don't know whose work you're going to be getting. You just buy it because you love it, you know? Oh, Penny, that's so nice. Oh, excellent colour. Yes, because we stopped, I could see the writing on the wall that there was going to be, because there was just no clarity on the tariffs. They seem to have been rushed and brought forward. I don't know, it was just a strange thing. There were no plans in place. And Australia Post, who we talked to, they were just like, oh, we'll just wait and see what happens. What? We don't want your parcels caught in turmoil, and being stuck in customs. So, because it has to click into a whole new system. It's not going through just the post office anymore. It's got to go through the customs. It's a whole different system that parcels have to go through if it's not organised properly. So Angus and I were like, this is not looking professional. Like, this is not what is going on. And we just thought, we just don't want people's parcels getting stuck. Or they were saying, well, we don't know what the fees are. We'll just work it out later and we'll let you know. What? Well, for a start, I don't really think that's legal. Australia Post, you need to let us, if you're going to be accepting parcels, I need to know what the cost is. Because what happens if it gets to you and there's a great big cost? What happens if I get this great big cost afterwards? No one could give any clarity. Everyone had different answers. It was all a bit of madness. So we just said, we'll just suspend it and see let things settle down, let the systems come into place. They still haven't come into place. The tariffs have clicked in. That maybe there's going to be some sort of third-party system, people who just become instant billionaires, and we'll just wait and see what happens. It could be that it all just is brilliantly executed and boom, shakalam, everything's magic, and it just all suddenly is okay and the world just goes on. But that hasn't happened quite yet. But you never know. You never know. So we are not sending, well, we can't send to the US at the moment because like most major systems, it's all being held until there's a system in place, until we know how we can pay, what we have to pay, and to who we have to pay. So anyway, of course, it only really affects small businesses. You know, it's not going to affect the likes of the billionaires around the world. They just make them more money somehow, like all things. Look, I'm a bit cynical. You can tell, can't you? Back to painting something beautiful. But yes, so we can't send out at the moment, but hopefully that's just temporary because, yes, I've got beautiful things happening. And I want to continue beautiful things. Oh, what did I just do then? I've got to be careful. Everything's fine and dandy when it's just, when you're just playing around, but if you want to start tightening things up, as soon as you start tightening things up, that's when all the little banana face and all that starts to pop out and starts to become a little bit of an issue. So what I might do before I go any further is take, oh, I like how this is settling all raggedy and rough, the watercolour. What I might do quickly is just take a little bit of this warm colour and I'm just going to pop it like sunshine into her skin tone a little bit. I've got a little bit creeping in there. So we've got a bit of sunshine on the face in the lower stratosphere. Yes, Tiffany, we will get things moving to you as soon as we know everything is safe and that everything is organised. And I'm so sorry. We didn't even get a chance to have, you know, a final, like, woohoo, quick before the tariffs come in. It's just, the date, I don't know, it just, I don't know. Yeah. But when you hear pundits, you know, talking on the news or whatever, and they say things like, you know, with India or other countries, it's just this sector that will be affected. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's millions of people. And, you know, we just don't need rising costs anymore. It's just already happening with everything else. Calm down, billionaires. Like, how much money do you need? You've only got one bum. You can only sit in one chair at a time. You can only sit in one helicopter at a time. How many helicopters do you need? How many rockets? Like, come on. Oh, she's side-eyeing the postal system. I don't know what this has to do with Wallam though. Look, I can't be beholden to reality, all right? I'm an artist and I'm an intuitive artist and I just have to intuit. This colour, vermouth, oh, how appropriate. It's got the word mouth in it. And it is the most divine colour for the mouth. Stop. Don't stop. Oh, love the feeling of the pencils on the Joyful gesso. Gorgeous. Penny Nap says, all we want are art supplies. Is that too much to ask? Give us our art supplies. Well, because art supplies are just, you know, heart supplies. It says it right there in the label. It's an easy way of being happy. And it's not unhealthy. For how long they live and how much joy they give, they're super amazing value. All art supplies, I'm not just talking about mine. And you can create something beautiful with them for years. Well, depending on how much art you do, I guess, and how you use them. But if you're anything like me and you've got lots of things, the more things you have, the longer it takes to use them up. So there's just, you know, it's very important to have all the pencils, so you don't use up your favourite one too soon. If you have 10 favourites, it takes a lot longer. It's just simple economics. It's just simple math. I'm just going to go in with a bit of, might be a bit early for a paint pen, but she needs a twinkle in the eye. And I'm just going to plug Botticelli-esque. If you want to learn the dynamics of I'm not really talking through how I'm drawing the face. I'd save that kind of stuff for my workshops because it's very hard for me to do it while I'm drawing. I don't enjoy, means I won't enjoy it. I usually do that in voiceovers, you know, like after the event. Oh, I like this red around the eyes there. Just as for we've still got quite a long way to go. There was a little spot there. I was just taking that out. And remember I put a little bit of that yellow up here? What I'm trying to do is get a little bit, this is the sun shining on her face. We've got a little bit of the sun shining here. Down on here, and these flowers don't quite make sense, but we'll get there. I think I need to bring that as an edge, so her forehead is in front of that. So I'm actually going to, because it's all water media, I can chisel that off. Do you know what I might do after the live stream? I might go, I've got to go to the shop. I might go and buy myself a plant. We have red flowers for my dad, so I might go and see if I can find. Mum planted lots and lots of red flowery things yesterday and filled her house with red flowers. So I might go and get a little red flowers. And I can say hello to my dad. Yeah, that will be nice. So also, if you're working on something special, you don't have to finish it all in one go. I really, really do. And I quite like how this has sort of got a bit of an edge that's creeping over. The watercolours come creeping over. I'm just going to add this in here. This colour is Urchin. It's a pinky purple. I'm going to soften. It might even be that her jawline changes a little bit actually, but we're not into anything we can't remove yet. The only thing I've put on that's permanent so far is white paint pen, and that I'm pretty sure they're okay. That might have to lift a little bit, this side. Might even come in like that. open her eye up a little bit more. Julie, it is, isn't it? It's really windy outside. I'm in northern. Julie lives near me, I think. And it's windy. So we've got a bit of blowing a gale situation here. See, I could throw in a little Botticelli loop-de-loop here of the hair, you know, like this. The loop-de-loops. We'll see. And all of this purple, everything, it's all, I can move all of it. I've just softened off that side. I'm going to take this whole side darker, or maybe lighter, and darken up this side actually, because she needs a little bit of contouring. And it's fun drawing from the imagination, which is all the lessons in Botticelliesque are about that at the moment. We've taken the references and the reality that we can look at, and then taking that into drawing from imagination, because that is what Botticelli did. I think he did it a lot after lots of sketching and learning his craft, because drawing from image is just, that's why I do all my life drawing. Although I go on about it and it's very freeing and all that, it's massively challenging. It's the experience of doing it with other people is enjoyable, but it's hard. It's really hard. But it's just so beneficial. Because then when I go to draw from imagination, which is my calling in life, like that is where I feel most myself. I've got so much information in my mind. I've worked out a lot of the problems, and so it's just very freeing to then draw. And I know, if I'm looking at something, I can be like, oh, okay, well, that's a bit wrong, because your body doesn't do that, it does that. And I can either be like, well, that's what I want it to do, because it's an artistic decision. It doesn't have to be reality. Art can be whatever you want it to be. So, you know. I might leave some of it pencil and some of it watercolour. I quite like that. It's quite dramatic. And I can soften this up, or I might even stain it with watercolour or layer cake, maybe. And this just twinkled at the side of my eye. I'm just going to grab a little bit of Twinkaluna. This colour here, it looks, to you it might look green. Let's have a look in the monitor. Yes, but it's a petrol-y colour. It's lovely for eyes, especially for adding depth to a light eye or sparkle to a deeper coloured eye. So I'm going to add a little bit in here to start bringing in a little bit of magique. So this is the Universe palette. I might go this one. This is a really brighter green. This is just all magic sparkle. They're named after science fiction planets. So this is LV, the LV 129. I've got to watch Aliens again, actually. I think I've seen it 1,000 times, but I just love it. I love Ripley. I love Ripley. But I'm just looking for where's my little palette? My swatch card. There's one. There's another one. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, I've got to dig too deep. The Utopia and Euphoria, I think, are sold out. I think we just added, I found 7 palettes left of Utopia. I've hoarded a few. And sorry about the dog barking in the background. Her neck is just a purple blob now. Oh, so if I look in the monitor, it makes it a bit easier for me, I must say. I might go in with this really dark black brown. This is Rum and Cola. I'm just mentioning the names to you in case you've got these sets, because I know an awful lot of you have them. And you can, but it's a really dark umber. Rather than going in with jet black, Zoz. Lots of shape in here. Oh, we got a bit of banana face going on here. Just let me check. Bam, bam, bam. Oh no, we're all right. Sorry. Must be a leaf that's blown up onto the perimeter, the Pomeranian perimeter. So here, what I'm doing here is, it's just been sitting there for a bit, so I need to, as with all paint pens, you just need to get ink back up into the thing. Just excuse me. Sozzy! Soz! Sorry. Oh, when I shook that, I didn't have the lid on, and I managed to put white speckles here and there. That's okay, I can do with that one. Oh, I actually don't mind that, but I don't, did I get it on my t-shirt? No. Sorry, I'm concentrating because I'm doing eyes. I think, was I talking about lips before? I can't even remember. I don't think I'm moving this, so I'm just going to add in a little bit of paint pen, and I'm going to soften it with a brush. Just remember, this is just acrylic paint. So, actually, he might, because he's just barking in general now, that he's telling me he wants to go to the toilet. And he means he wants to go and do a proper toilet. So he's actually being a very good boy. So I might have to go, guys, or I'm going to have a big cleanup. So I might finish this. But if you want to learn how to draw, especially this is exactly what we're doing in class. 3/4, turned faces. You can come and do Botticelli-esque. It's already discounted, so the extra discount doesn't apply, but all of the other workshops have that 25% discount. are added to them as well. So you can use that on all of them, and they're all fabulous workshops as far as I'm concerned. So that's pretty good for a first little pass. I am going to put a bit of this red in here. Very, very soft. Oh, that's right. I was going to do white down there. I might do that. Just putting in a little bit. I'll see how that settles into the canvas. But that should settle in quite roughly. And I might want a softer effect, but I just will wait and see what happens. We're going to have a bit of highlight on here. And if I soften that off, where's that brush? Here with my brush, and here. I've just got a little bit of highlight on the chin. The chin, that's her cheek, sorry. Bit of highlight on her lid as well. Lift that up. So she's got more of a dreamy look. I wouldn't mind lifting up her eyebrows a bit higher, actually. And her mouth is a little bit smallish. I think we could go for a more generous mouth at some point. But I'll fresh eyes myself. Take that little dog outside before he decides to stop barking and start pooping. Keep on barking, Sozzy. Keep on barking. Just taking a little bit of that pink up into here and here. Loving the eyes. Julie, yes, you can buy the paper packs individually, but I'll check that. Annette, there'll be new art supplies. It just things might change. Hopefully they won't. Hopefully they won't change at all. But you know, we'll just, it's a bit like it for Australia anyway. But yeah, it just it changes what I can do and what I can, who I can work with and what I can get created, that end of things. So hopefully that doesn't change. I don't know. It's the uncertainty that is a little bit of a, you know, just causes that angst, that bit of worry. But oh, look, you have to, what is it? Hope for the best. Hope for the best. And yeah, if things change, they change. But hopefully, you know, things work out. I think the tariffs were declared illegal the way they've been done. So, but I don't know if that will mean anything. I can understand why they're there, and it's just the implementation by the world has been, postal systems has been very lacking. There's just not the leadership required. And because it doesn't affect big business, you know. Yet. That's quite nice. What's this one? Cuttlefish. Oh. I like this orangey, mango-y colour for this. And the effect on the canvas is quite nice, but it's the scratchity scratch that I am currently enjoying very much. Yes, Tiffany, she's excited. Everything will be fine. We just have to we can always work out a way of doing things. I just am so grateful that I've been able to do what I've done to the level that I've done it. It's just like a miracle, what I've managed to make happen. And, you know, if things change and that the miracle isn't quite the same, oh, well, you know, better to have had. But we'll just see. It might all be totally fine. And we won't have these big changes, but we don't know. We don't know. Gosh, blue is a dynamic being. Oh, that's taking off my other layers. My brush is a bit wet. Oh, but I'll take that opportunity to do this, to lift that up, to change that. Sorry, Zozzy, I haven't forgotten you. It's just, I'm drawing a goddess, dude. If I lift that whole eyebrow, it would be better, I think. This eyebrow is just too low. Yeah, that's definitely poo-poo barking. Do you guys know your dogs like that? You know, they do this special... Poppy doesn't. He comes and stares at me intently, and I'm like, is that love? Or, okay, he needs to. That's the brown note. Okay, let's go. Jess usually comes and tells me as well, but I'm ignoring Zozzy to my own peril. Oh, watercolour, how I love thee. And it's a bit weird to do it on canvas for something like this, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, I think I might pop it in. I might pop her eyebrow up. So she's got a dreamier look, and I can open up this eye a little bit. I can open up the eye area a little bit more. Oh, I probably don't want jet black in there. An eyeectomy. She just had a little eyebrow lift, which probably is a thing. Just a little casual eyelid lift. Before she goes on the next season of real goddesses, real Olympians. Oh, I like this here. I like the colour of the eyes so far. I will deepen it up with a little bit of black at some point. Oh, I might pop a little tiny bit in now, but I think I'll just calm down. And I shall let the eyelids freshen. And we want Botticelli. I want to come. I usually go up there, but I'm going to copy Botty. Yep. Real Housewives of Mount Olympus. Yeah. Gosh, that would be if they get angry with each other, they just cause a plague for mankind. Or a few wars. Which I'm sure some of them would like to do at the moment, that are currently on some of the shows now. Okay. I've made the mouth a little bit bigger. I've lifted the eyelid a little bit. I'm going to have to reinstate a bit of shading and whatnot. But, well, if I leave that as the cool, yeah, okay, and then I come back in with this. Yes, okay. No, not that one. This purple. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Fun, fun, fun. We're getting there. I've put links to the, I forgot about that, for the Wallam thing, so you can see what it is that I'm talking about. If you are a local artist, you do have a tiny bit of time to get involved, but not much. And otherwise, I'll let you know about in case there's any bidding online or anything like that, if you wanted to join in. Or have a look at an initiative like this for where you are. You know, like there might be an art project, you know, sort of thing that you could get involved in to create art in response to something that's going on, to bring awareness, or like this one, to raise some funds for the people that, you know, have really worked on something important to the whole community. Just going to deepen that up. What a colour. Yum, that's getting Botticelli-esque. Nah, baby. Where's that colour that I used earlier? Was it that one? No. Well, I'm going to go with mantis shrimp. Okay, my friends, well, I'm just going to at least put myself up here in that corner. And let me see if oh yes, there I am, floating up here in the corner, and I can see your comments, so let me have a little look. Done. Okay. Oh yes, thank you for giving me a thumbs up. I always forget to ask about all those sorts of things. Yes, well, my friends, thank you for joining me. I'm just having a quick look through at the comments as well. Yeah, Tiffany's just making a thing with the tariffs. Always the people of that country pay them. We have tariffs. It's just, it is just the way it is. So it's not so much that there is going to be a tariff. It's more that how much and how it's going to be collected, and who's going to be collecting it, how much they're going to be charged, all that sort of stuff, and how it affects people, and just it's the logistics of it. And all the post is suspended, so even if we wanted to send things, we couldn't. So, and we do want to send things, but we can't at the moment. You can do things as a gift, and don't worry, there will be this massive surge of gifts being sent all around the world. But you've got to be very careful with that kind of stuff, because you'll get in trouble. It'd be illegal, and there'll be fines, or who knows. We don't know. We don't know. So, look at my new camera. Okay. Yes. That would be good, Coletta. Just if they do it in stages, that would be great. So anyway. Beth said, am I going to discontinue the white journal? Not specifically, because I need them all the time. They're what I use a lot. But as with all of my things, I don't know what the future holds. So the other knock-on effect from all of this is what is it going to do to shipping rates and all of that stuff. So we just have to, we're in a bit of a wait and see pattern, but if you need one, I would order one. If you don't need it yet, then don't order it. But it's so funny, the advice I give, because of course I have a stockpile of them, so because I don't want things. But I'm a little bit of a stockpiler for very essential things, and those watercolour journals are one of them. Art supplies, my art supplies in general, are a little bit of that sort of thing. I just discovered I didn't hoard enough palette pastels. That's what I didn't hoard enough of. And I'm down to one pristine set, and I have to think, oh my gosh, I still have some. Oh, wait a minute, I might have some in my classroom. I might just have to steal those. That's all right, I think I'm okay. So funny. Penny says it sounds funny when I've designed a beautiful colour. All the time, because I've got so many different things, and sometimes a colour that you haven't used before, it's just the perfect colour to go into a new thing. So it's just a new appreciation of things all the time. So I hadn't used my marzipan markers, my marzipan twists at life drawing for a while. That's what I started using when I first started going back, and then I was just using other things, and I picked them up the other day. I was like, oh, I haven't used them for a while. And then I was like, why did I stop doing this? But it's like all things, you know, you just, and then I will use a colour from that just goes really well with something else that I'm doing. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this divine creature? Because like this little series of, oh no, I can hold the camera here. This little series of tanny browns turns into this orange when they're with this, with hair. So, and these colours are just magic for hair, because they're fabulous with blondes, fabulous with redheads, brunettes, and even darker hair when they start to go into highlights. So, and otherwise I sort of don't think of them, and then I go, like I use it there, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the most beautiful colour in the world. Because it's doing something magical. I like this little, when I use this guy, looking in the palette, how can it compete with, you know, shimmery, glimmery greens and blues and pinks and purples, and it's just there in the corner. But I already know that that thing there is just full-blown magic. But the next time I go to use it, it'll be, you know, that blue is the best blue on the planet. Actually, it will be. Oh, I might even do. Okay. Okay, Zozzy, yes, I know. I'm a very mean mum, and I'm making you hold on for too long. So I better go and sort my dog out, sort my lovely little dog out, and take him for a walk, throw the ball, and have a lovely day. So I hope you have lots of fun as well. Caruso, just don't get involved. Just if your mum wants to believe, or she could be right. She could be right. But you don't need, it's not your job to convince people of anything ever. If you don't, you just go and do some art. That's a better idea. If people don't want to be convinced of anything, who wants to be convinced of something? Nobody. We're just in our worlds doing our thing. You know, there's just, you know, so many fabulous things. I just watched a video. You know how I feel about the ancient world, about a lady. She was talking about, her name's Katie Shock. Such a good name, Katie Shock. And she was talking about ancient Egypt. Oh, I can't hear enough. I cannot hear enough about it. And I love the alternate theories. I love hearing them. I don't necessarily, it's just hypothesis. It's just it's just ideas, and I love to hear it. Oh, my dog doesn't like hearing the ideas. Okay. So we just go and we just do art and convince ourselves, let's just convince ourselves to do art, and that's good. That's where we can stop. Enjoy the time we have with what we have. That's very important. How gorgeous is this? Oh, how gorgeous is this? Yes, so anyway, go and do some art, some joyfully unpolished art, and have a wonderful day. Don't forget you can use that thank you. Oh, excuse me, I just burped. Oh, how rude. Thank you to gather up some of my online workshops, and the live one currently is Botticelli-esque. And I even, if you upload your work to our Facebook group, I can even go help you with it and go through it and give you some feedback. It's all very nice, don't worry. And constructive, not constructive criticism, just constructive. Okay, we don't need the criticism part. We can be helpful without bringing other people down. We can build people up and help them. A helping hand, you're lifting people up, you're not helping and dragging down. No, we lift. It's all about lifting. Lifting. Okay, my friends. Bye. Oh, I think I can even turn this off just here now. Oh, no, I can do it there. Yeah. Technicalities. Bye.